All right, we're going to check out this optic by Primary Arms today. This is the GLX 1X Microprism. First thing I'd like to point out, as you can see there, lifetime warranty. Love companies that give a lifetime warranty. It's got the ACSS Reticle, as you can see there. So you got drop compensating marks for further range shots. This one's green. They also make it in red. There'll be a link up in the description if you guys want to check them out. And there's going to be most of our important stats there. You guys can pause and read any of that if you would like. Obviously, it's going to be shockproof, waterproof, fogproof, all that. Everything you would expect from Primary Arms. So let's pop her open here, see what we got inside. Again, lifetime warranty. There's a manual just for the reticle. So as you can see there, it gives you some... tells you that's if you zeroed for 100, then that's where you're going to be at 3, and then this is going to be 400 yards. Of course, the angles for the windage, different barrel lengths, different calibers rather, excuse me. And okay, that's for ranging, so you can use that as kind of like a rangefinder, depending on what you're aiming at and how large it looks inside of there. We'll give you a rough estimate of the range, if I'm correct there. Cool, they even have 12 gauge slug there. There's all the instructions on that. Anyways, awesome freaking reticle. Got our wipe here, scratch free for the screen, and then there's your basic manual here. Then underneath, obviously that's our reticle there. Got some sort of tool there. Looks like the mounting stuff. Those mounts there are what helps aid in the 8 different possible mounting height configurations. Nothing down in there. This is probably going to be some hardware. Yep, little screws and such. And then there's the optic there. Let me get it out. Okay, there she is there out of the bag. And later on in the video, stay tuned, I will get some good images through this so you guys can really see what that reticle looks like, because as you can see there, it's out of focus for me. So I'm going to have to work on taking a nice, clear, crisp image of that so you guys can see. I mean, it shows it on the side there, but kind of a real-world perspective for you. Anyways, we'll head down to the rifle range and try this guy out. Alright, there she is mounted up there. I feel like I can hit my 16-inch gong out there if the lighting stays right for me. Better collar would have been a little easier. See how it kind of just disappears without magnification. I feel like I can hit it reliably without a magnifier on there, and that's definitely true. 1X, there's no magnification on that. Obviously, with no magnification, this is better suited for somewhat close range stuff, although you can definitely reach out with it, as I'm going to do in this video. Now, they do have other models that offer varying amounts of magnification as well as different reticle options. But that's actually better for close range stuff. You definitely don't want more than 1X because, you know, some of the cheaper optics out there, they say they're 1X, but it's more like a 1.5. So it actually brings the target a little closer to you, which you do not want for this close range stuff. So not an issue with this. The reticle is fantastic. Stay tuned. I'll get some images of the reticle, both illuminated and not illuminated. But obviously we're a full sun out here and it is bright as can be on all the way up. I can turn it down several clicks and still see it no problem. And also I like it just all black as well. I turn it all the way down and you just got a black reticle like a regular scope. So I'll show you both versions of that. Show you, even though that's another thing I wanted to mention. Without my glasses, this thing looks fantastic. Usually I got to put glasses on to use like traditional red dot optics to make them look halfway decent, and I do have an astigmatism. This thing is sharp, crystal clear. It looks fantastic without my glasses, so I don't even need my glasses with it. Oh, also, this was fantastic. This thing is extremely heavy duty, very large hardware, and nice big thick tool, especially with it having that handle in it. It's super easy to get tightened up, and it fit my rail absolutely perfect. And today we're just running my side charging BCA 16-inch 5.56 upper. So aiming at this black target here is where that illumination really comes in handy, because it's pretty hard to see against this. Same thing if you were hunting, you know, black bear, wild boar, anything like that, so the illumination is nice for that, or low light conditions. So yeah, we're fighting the wind today, but it hasn't been too bad, but it just decided to kick up like crazy as soon as I want to hit the record button. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So we were pretty low there and very right, so go ahead and adjust this guy. Again, hopefully you guys can hear me instead of the wind on the mic. But let's see, we were low. Now obviously it comes with its own tools for that, but I just go ahead and use this penny I got in my pocket. So we need to go up considerably, half MOA clicks. So that means about a half an inch at 100 yards, but since we're at 50, it's only going to be a quarter inch. So we need 4 clicks to move it an inch at 50. And let's see, let's do an estimation here. Knowing what I know about my target, we are about 6 to 7 inches low and 10 to 11 inches right. So let's go up 6 and left 10. Ooh, I gotta take my ears off. Those are subtle. Okay, so. Okay, remember that was just an estimate. Plus I kind of lost track on the elevation one. But we'll see where this puts us. We should be on paper now and probably close to center. What's that, 2 touch in there? I gotta review the footage. Alright, if I turned it the right way this time, it went up 6 clicks and off to the right 3 clicks. Again, I'm not the greatest without magnification, so although I just stacked 2 there really quick, there is some error on my part. So let's see if we're finally touching that oval. I expect we still need some more adjustment to get it centered, but oh, there we go. And obviously I'm not making, again, I'm not very good without magnification, but obviously at the rate of fire I'm not going for precision shots, but we just put 2 right in the middle there. So let's go ahead and move out 300 yards. If I could get this freaking camera stand to cooperate. So real easy for you guys to see it, but that's all I see right there. But we're going to start out zoomed in, obviously, so if I'm missing, we can see how we need to adjust. Again, it is stinking windy. Okay. Anyways, we'll start out zoomed in. I'll hold the appropriate height, but remember, it's probably a few clicks too high right now for a 100-yard zero, but we'll go ahead and take some shots out here. But if they're going left and right, just know it's because of the wind. And that's if I can keep my camera on here. This thing, I need to replace this camera stand. It's got a lot of play in it, and the wind blows the camera around. I think I was aiming a little too high on those. Let me review the footage here. Okay, yep, about foot to 16, 18 inches high over. I saw the second shot hit the road back there, so I'm going to give it those 2 or 3 clicks down. Like I said just a minute ago, I should have given it. And plus I need to aim lower. I was actually aiming over it with my aim point on accident because I'm having a hard time seeing it out there with my eye limitation. Again, the Optic, fantastic glass. All the marks are wind blowing the camera. Crystal clear, very sharp, but is a very tiny target for me with no magnification out there with my eyes. That white blends in with the dirt when the sun's on it like that, so really fluorescent orange or something like that would be a lot better for me. I think I'm gonna have to stay zoomed out slightly, so as this wind's moving the stinking camera around on us, it doesn't go out of frame. Yep, freaking turned. Hopefully you guys saw some of those. Take a few more zoomed out, well, zoomed in rather. Again, if we had a scale silhouette down there, that'd be freaking easy peasy.
The scale silhouette you can see no problem.
But my gong there just kind of disappears into the background. Anyways, let me get loaded back up here. We'll take a few more somewhat zoomed in.
You see what I mean down there? There's like these pieces of wood and stuff leaned up against that mound, and with the sunlight hitting them, they're actually glowing brightly colored, whereas my white gong there just kind of disappears into the dirt. So this was a very poor choice of color for me to paint the gong for this day. I'll see what's in the shadows like that when I get out here early. Lighter colored paint is better in the shadow. Darker colored paint is better in full sunlight like what we got right now.
Alright. And thanks to my good friend Brad for the hand loads. Really appreciate it. Okay. Again, 300's down here. So I'll get some zoomed out for you. Alright, not a single miss there. Like I said, my eyesight is limiting me, not the optic. It looks fantastic, perfectly clear and crisp, including the reticle in there. But that thing out there just disappears. But I found a, I'm like, okay, hold it about here, and that's going to get me consistent hits there. So that's what I was doing. But yeah, I'm having a real hard time seeing that out there without magnification. So again, they do offer these in 3x magnification. This one is no magnification, just the 1x, but that's better suited for close range stuff. And again, that gong is smaller
Than a full scale silhouette.
That would have been super easy. It's just because
the paint color and the sunlight's causing it to blend in.
So yeah, this thing is fantastic. Absolutely love it. Let me get those images up for you guys now through the reticle. Okay, so this is working differently than any. I'm not getting images. Trying to see if I can record. And yeah, I just cannot. Oh, there we had it for a second. I can't get a focus on it to show you guys. Try. Nope. It keeps doing that crap. Maybe if I hold it closer. Let me see here. Kind of, sort of. That might work. Now we're on record.
So as I just explained there, it was really difficult to get images through this. So this easily looks twice as good in person as these images do. So please keep that in mind. And also you see me have to zoom in at the end there just to get any sort of focus on it, which I had to do the same thing here for the photos. I had to get the camera right behind it and kind of zoom through the tube, which is why there's all that black void around it. So it's also making the image look smaller than it should. So again, also nice massive eye box on this thing, unlike what you see here because of what I had to do to get the images. I wish you guys could see it with your own eyes because it looks so much better in person and larger as well. But anyways, there's the best example of what I could capture for you guys of the reticle there. It's actually just to the right of the 100-yard mound. And the next one's 150, then 2, then 250, and then clear out there at 300. You might be able to see my gong sitting out there. And then here's the same, but with it illuminated, and again through the camera with it illuminated for some reason, it makes that chevron almost disappear. But with my own actual eye, I could see that just fine. It looked much more vibrant and deep green and all that, and it still had a nice sharp point to it and the edges and everything like that. It's just the stinking camera. And then here I put it out at 300 yards for you guys to kind of get an idea of what I was looking at out there. Again, the chevron was still nice and sharp and not fuzzy like it looks here because it's the camera doing that. But what I was doing to hit that target out there, I was basically just putting the chevron kind of over the middle of the gong there, just kind of making it wear it like a hat, and it was hitting it every single time.
So it looks so much better in person. The eye box fills this whole thing kind of like that, so it doesn't scrunch down. It's just with how close I have to hold the camera to get any sort of focus on that reticle, it just throws it all off. It looks far better in person, at least twice as good easily. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this thing. This is, first time I've ever shot primary arms. I knew these were really popular, especially with the AK guys, and this thing is just absolutely fantastic. Everything's hard, heavy duty, like I said, real robust mount there. The hardware is huge, and give you the big old crank wrench to get it on there, no problem. Super fine, crisp, audible clicks, elevation and windage, super bright in daytime, bright as you want it to go. It also goes extremely dim. It's got low enough settings to where you can use your night vision stuff with it at night. Really love the reticle. I think there might be some different magnifications in there, but I know for sure they make a 1x like this one is, and a 3x for sure. There might be others. That's all you need to go out there 300, and I just proved it. Even though I was having a hard time seeing it because it's blending in out there with no magnification, I was still hitting it no problem. So their 3x version would be fantastic for 300 and 400 yard shots, but if somebody's close, like 20-30 yards in front of you, then that's not going to be ideal. So I would say this thing is absolutely perfect from anything point blank range, clear out to 300 yards, 300 meters. This thing is awesome. And from 50 yards further out, you probably want to go with their 3x version. Yeah, I absolutely dig this thing. It is sweet. I can't wait to try out more. I'm hoping to get one off of them that's got BDC marks for 9mm little pistols and carbines. So hopefully I'll be getting that one soon for the channel to test. I know they got LPVOs. I'd like to get one of those off of them to try out as well. Again, link in the description if you guys want to check it out. Anything else I use in the video, glasses, muffs, my steel targets, target stand there, paper targets I use, shooting bag, rangefinder, way more. Links in the description for all of that. Again, check out the campsite page for things I cannot link to. But thanks for stopping by, checking us out today, guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope to catch you on the next one.